My name is Daryl Carl. Thanks for being with us. Now, about 36,000 people are expected to be employed for the redevelopment of the Marine Drive tourism project in Accra. Minister of Tourism, Arts and Culture, Catherine Afeku, says as part of the agreement with project managers, local content will play a key role. She made the disclosure in an interview with Joy Business after a short ceremony to sign a memorandum of understanding with the project financiers in Accra. There's more in the following report.
$1 billion Marine Drive tourism investment project is being facilitated by government to develop the entire stretch of the land containing the Marine Drive into a world-class beachfront tourism enclave. This is aimed at meeting the needs of business and leisure tourists, as well as making Ghana the preferred tourism destination in Africa. Minister of Tourism, Arts and Culture, Catherine Afeku, explains how the project intends to create employment for the youth.
It's 150,000 jobs over the entire span of this project, but immediately, first phase is 36,000. They've done all the works, the stats, and we're ready to take off. I mean, you'll see it in the next 3 weeks. Something will start because the ground is broken already by His Excellency, the President. The symbolism is complete. We are going to dig the ground and start working. That is the commitment etched in writing, signed by the ministry and the chiefs and people of Ghana State. We will ensure that our people, as a matter of fact, what is even solidifying is the job recruitment will be done at the traditional houses. You have to go to Beshe Manche's palace if you're a local to write your name, and then they'll bring it to the project management office. You go to Usumanche, you write your name. So this way they are involved in the recruitment exercise. Naturally, others will come directly, but we're giving them that priority to ensure transparency in the recruitment process. And it's not only artisan jobs for our people. There are architects. He's a Ghanaian. The anchor developers are all Ghanaian. The entire project is being executed by Ghanaians. Yes, they'll bring their subs from outside, but the jobs, this is the black star of Africa. The jobs are for us. We will work with others, but our priority is Ghana, made in Ghana, for Ghana.
The project is anchored on the vision of changing the face of tourism in Ghana. When completed, it will feature hotels, a cultural village, malls, recreational centers, among others. Kofi Bio is the head of project management at Ajayi Associates, the lead consultant and financier of the project.
I believe that this is one of the most significant redevelopment projects that can happen in the country, because this project was started by Nkrumah, the first president, to make a sort of monumental core for the country. And Marine Drive is really the monumental core of Accra. It comes right through to Castle Road, forming the kind of key spine of what I call brain and spine of the country. And it was never finished. So under the leadership of this president and his ministries, and under the honorable minister, we are able to now complete this incredible vision. And for me, that is such a symbolic project, and one where I'm honored to be a part of this team to deliver it. What we can do by making it, because it's a significant piece of city making.
The first phase is expected to be completed within 3 years.
And that looks beautiful, doesn't it? Well, moving on, the Institute of Customer Service Professionals is embarking on a campaign to name and shame all public and private entities which deliver poor customer service to their clients. President of the Institute, Yvonne McCarthy, says the move forms part of efforts to improve customer service to attract foreign investments into the country. Charles Aite has more.
Speaking to Joy Business at the launch of the Customer Service Excellence Awards in 2018, President of the Institute, Yvonne Ohui McCarthy, explains how poor customer service experience in Ghana continues to affect foreign investment in the country. According to her, the very first experience foreign investors have with Ghanaian businesses is hinged on the quality of customer service engagement.
We find that they are the culprits, actually. They are the culprits when it comes to poor customer service. Their mentality is that we have to come to them whether we like it or not, okay, because of the nature of the business or the services that they provide. The private sector, on the other hand, is the backbone of Ghana's economy and operates without a proper code of conduct or a nationalized standard way of doing business. How can we acknowledge that that is our backbone, yet not put things in place to sustain that particular backbone. So again, there's a problem in both sectors, both private and public.
So far, Ghana has no existing regulatory policy which streamlines customer service in the country. But the Institute believes deeper private sector engagements could get things working the right direction. In an interview with Joy Business, an official of the Ministry of Business Development, Kojo Frimpong, says government is liaising closely with private sector on the situation.
Standards, standards, standards. But there are two aspects of standards. There's the one which is legal framework and therefore can be inspected, and therefore if you fall foul of those standards you could be prosecuted. So that's the legal archetypal view of what standards is. However, standards is also anchored in respect. So if we respect ourselves and we think that I am deserving of what you should give me, or he is deserving of what I should give them, then I will not treat them with below the standards approach. So I am prepared to posit that these three things really underline why our customer service orientation is so bad.
The Ghana Customer Service Index is a yearly report which will be published in the first week of October. The index would provide an insight into the state of customer service in Ghana. The report would also initially focus on 8 key factors. They are the financial institutions, utilities, telecommunications, hospitality, healthcare, retail, food and non-food, public institutions, as well as online businesses.
The latest news now from the insurance sector, and the new capital requirement for insurance companies is likely to be pegged at 50 million cedis. This is according to the Commissioner of Insurance, Justice Ofori. He spoke to Joy Business at a cocktail reception with insurance companies.
Insurance companies are currently required to have 15 million cedis before they can do business in the country. The proposed increment, according to the regulator, has been influenced by current developments in the economy. It is also to help insurance companies to absorb heavy industry risk. The National Insurance Commission is considering the second quarter of next year as the possible implementation date for the new capital requirement. Speaking to Joy Business after a cocktail organized by the NIC, the Commissioner, Justice Ofori, however, said implementation of the new minimum capital would happen after conclusion of existing discussions with all players.
It's a tough call, but I should expect something around 50 million should be okay, looking at the way, looking at the nature of insurance business in Ghana. With the advent of this oil and gas and other things, it means that local companies should actually build capacity. So we're looking at how we don't actually close down companies, but there's a lot of thinking that is going on. We'll come out with an outcome.
As part of measures to boost confidence in the insurance sector, the Commission has pledged commitment to crack the whip on insurance companies which fail to pay claims. Here's the board chair of the Commission, Ray Ankara.
We will weed out bad nuts. Those insurance companies who are not doing the right thing, you are on notice. The National Insurance Commission will not hesitate to crack the whip where we find that companies are not doing the right thing and are not complying with the rules. For those insurance companies who do not pay claims, who do not do the right thing, we are serving you notice now. Because we are coming after you, we will make sure that you do the right thing, and if you don't want to do the right thing, you might as well just get out of the industry.
Meanwhile, Deputy Finance Minister Charles Eduboahen is urging the Insurance Commission to work with the ministry to develop a new act next year to strengthen the insurance sector.
I expect the NIC to work with the Ministry of Finance in 2018 to pass a new act. The act should adequately address minimum capital needs, risk-based capital needs, corporate governance, consumer protection, and transparency. The Act, when passed, should provide the needed legal environment for the implementation of the best regulatory practices to ensure a safe and sound insurance market that is able to support the government's economic transformation agenda.
The National Insurance Commission is looking at introducing a database to curb fake insurance. This database, when introduced, will be in the form of a mobile app.
Now, the Ghana Chamber of Mines is supporting government's initiative to commercialize local scientific creativity with $100,000. The Science and Technology Incubation Program is being undertaken by the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation to boost scientific innovation among young entrepreneurs. Now, President of the Chamber, that is Kwame Adokufo, spoke to Joy Business during the presentation of a check for $100,000 to government.
In March, when we visited the minister, and he indicated his commitment towards the setup of STEM incubation centers. So this really in fulfillment of that promise. What we know about it, from what the ministry tells us, is that this is to stimulate the interest of our youth in science and technology, which in today's world is really the game changer when you're talking cost and productivity. So it's very important our youth show an interest in the development of science, engineering, mathematics, and technology. Well, we must remember it's a collaboration between the Ministry of Environment, Science and Technology and that of Education. We only promise to make a donation to that cause. The overwhelming priority is on local content and integrating with other sectors of the economy, having the linkages to the different sectors to ensure that we support economic growth.
Well, Christmas is just under a week away, can you believe it? And one of the important aspects of this season is the act of giving. And as part of our Christmas special, my colleague Karen Dodo has been exploring the hamper business and, well, how lucrative it is really in this season. She has come through with this report.
45-year-old Emily is preparing a customized hamper for a customer. For over 8 years, she cashes in on the sale of hampers during festive seasons such as Valentine's Day and the Yuletide period. The hampers contain items such as canned foods, bottles of wine, confectionery, clothing, you name it. With 80 cedis, you can get a hamper filled with 1 liter bottle of soft drink, 3 canned foods, 1 kg bag of rice, and a 500 ml bottle of cooking oil. Just like other products, hampers come in different sizes. Emily tells me she makes customized hampers as well, which sometimes run into thousands of cedis. The owner of Emily's Winery and Gift Shop here in Osu says, although the hamper business is gradually catching on, sales this year have not been so encouraging.
And the market is very slow, but I hope soon it will back up.
What determines what goes into a hamper? What moves you to put these things into each basket?
What I would say is just to keep everything intact. Maybe someone will come and the person is in need of rice or breakfast. Yeah.
With a few more days for the Yuletide to commence, Emily is hopeful sales will pick up.
So it's another Christmas, and I'm sure you're wondering what to get friends and family. Well, I just got myself this lovely hamper, and I'm going to give it to someone special. So maybe you're out there thinking what to get your friends, family, or loved ones for this Christmas. Why not think of a hamper? It has all the essentials in it. For Joy Business News, Karen Dodo reporting.
Okay, I bet she was going to give that to me. But, one of the things about this season is ensuring safety. And while some LPG marketing companies are stepping up efforts to enhance safety procedures at various outlets to avert explosions during the Christmas season. This is in response to fire outbreaks associated with the sale of gas for domestic use, especially during the Yuletide and dry season. Now, some LPG distributors are embarking on safety campaigns as part of initiatives to reduce such incidences, especially during the Yuletide. Here's Jessica Foley. She's acting head of business development at Express Gas Limited.
Statistics has said that majority of accidents reported at the Kolebu Teaching Hospitals, and most importantly, they are reconstructive, plastic surgery, and burn center. Has said that majority of those accidents are LPG related. The Gas Safety First campaign is a program that seeks to sensitize and also educate LPG users and consumers about how to handle LPG in cooking, especially in this festive season, because there'll be lots of cooking, and when there are lots of cooking, you know, cooking sometimes come with accidents and all that. So we want to make sure that the customer is well informed, well educated, and knows how to handle LPG. Safety First campaign is going to be rolled out through social media and community activation. So community activation, where you have ambassadors at various and vantage points. We have Legon, Westlands, Hacho, Madina, Zongo Junction, with Christmas greeting cards, where we have the tips in there for the user, for the customer. And then also on social media, we are going to be putting tips on the platforms such as Facebook and then Twitter as well.
Safety first, very important as we enter into the Yuletide season. And well, let's look back at some of the events that have gone past as we draw to a close. Draw this year to a close. Now, the first quarter of 2017 saw a major government policy in the small-scale mining sector that in a way regularized small-scale mining activities in the country. Among others, a ban on small-scale mining has, however, come with its related job losses. The clampdown on illegal mining activities has pushed several young people in such communities to embark on illegal migration. Mining advocacy NGO Wacom says the ban is just a scratch on the surface, as the mining sector in general has too much rot. In this joint report, Prince Apia and Odilia Ntiamwa take a look at the performance of the economy in 2017 and the policies that affected mining in the country.
By March 31, 2017, the small-scale mining sector was hard hit by a government decision that changed the activities forever. A ban on small-scale mining meant no licenses will be issued, and those in the sector had to stop the activities. The uproar was huge, and the effect on the local economies has been great, especially when the deadline was extended to 2018. A typical example is seen here at Kotokum. School project started by small-scale miners ended with the start of the ban, and so did vibrant markets.
Due to the ban on Galamsey, they have nothing to do. This place is virtually empty.
For some small-scale miners, the ban has spelled doom for their businesses.
I didn't know what filling station. Send the pair damn doors, no bush and phobe, nipper damn bebre qua. Until one if you plan and say accident, Maconia accident. And may say be Bia Bruku, see at least in Meton, let me tell me who can be this account 4 billion. This is a 4 billion. 4 billion. Adding. Say this is an idea, Juma. And they say Abana Bassi, only credit. Best start mining cost with me ton for Lebua, a day be a 300 million, 400 million, CCI 250 million.
Excavators have been abandoned together with other earth-moving machines.
We have laid off about more than 300 workers. Just imagine, one machine is taking about 5 people. So 5 times, about 60 machines. Yeah. It's almost 300, or 300, if my math is correct. Before you come to these mechanics, we have about 30 mechanics, including with the welders and the electricians also.
The mining communities have provided a lot of employment for the youth especially. In some communities, they are already feeling the pinch, and illegal migration could be the next option.
My friend, he left here this year, the month February, but I heard that he went Libya, and when he get there, things were difficult for him there. So he decided to leave from Libya to Italy. But he didn't reach there.
A few small-scale mining areas have resorted to alternative livelihoods. It's been 9 months since the ban, and the question is, has it made any impact? And what happens after the January 2018 deadline?
I think government is doing its program, and then there have been some assessments that government has done, which is not publicly known to some of us. So, yeah, we can only assume that government has done its homework and that it's safe to lift the ban. Because if you haven't done it well and then you lift the ban, everybody is going there and they are pulling other players.
Wacom has blamed large-scale mining companies, saying their crimes are bigger.
We still have the problem of dealing with surface mining as a reference to pollution of water, because the large corporate bodies would also pollute water. We are dealing with disposal of waste, the rock waste, which will cover about 3 times the area that has been dug. And these are the areas that provide us with our food security, because farmers will cultivate that land. Now, those lands are lost to mining because of the rock waste.
Water bodies since the ban have begun to clear, and that was one of the main reasons for the ban, that issues with employment should be looked into seriously if there should be any drastic steps taken after January 2018. The year 2017 also saw issues relating to the sale or privatization of ECG. Airtel-Tigo merger was confirmed, and hints that UT Bank was struggling was also mentioned.
And be on the lookout for more of our special reports looking back at the year 2017 in subsequent bulletins. Now, we want to move on to other news now. The Public Interest and Accountability Committee, PIAC, has commended the Parliamentary Select Committee on Finance for its role in the Oil Revenue Management Report. PIAC therefore believes that the involvement of Parliament in the monitoring of projects undertaken with funds from the oil revenue is very crucial to the sustainability of petroleum funds.
They are attached to the various findings and recommendations in the report. One of them has been the phantom projects that seem to be pretty widespread across the country. Projects that are supposed to be funded with oil revenues but are non-existent. The position of a committee of Parliament, that's the Finance Committee, is to order the Finance Minister to ensure compliance with the 2018 budget. And our checks reveal that indeed it's been complied with, and I'm referring here specifically to Section 48 of the Petroleum Revenue Management Act, where it is required of the Minister for Finance in his reconciliation report to Parliament to indicate the state of completion of oil-funded projects. There's been an attempt, and the records show that about 110 projects has been physically inspected by the ministry with the support of the Ministry of Planning, and so the stage of implementation of these projects have been indicated.
Samuel Zan Akologo is the subcommittee chairman of the Parliamentary Select Committee on Communication. Let's hear from him now.
First of all, the document is for us, it's about us. How do we make sure that we fulfill our mandate in a way that reaches out to the public? And so that is where communication comes in. So we're looking at how do we, yes, we make reports. The report is couched in a certain language. How do we break down that jargon so that ordinary citizens will be able to understand the process? So you hear, for example, that in our district level engagement, sometimes we even make use of vernacular language. And so fortunately, we have members who are from the traditional authority. You saw the Queen Mother and Chief. They are very good in sometimes putting out this thing. We're looking at other mechanisms. For example, the possibility of even having derbys, where we can get community members to accompany us to verify some of the projects on the ground.
You're watching Business Live. Time now for our interview of the day, and disbursement of about 3 billion cedis of Tier 2 pension contributions of public sector workers to their fund managers will start this week. Now, 5% of monthly pension deductions from salaries of public sector workers from 2010 were locked up in the temporary pension fund account at the Bank of Ghana. This was to allow the pensions regulator to finalize licenses of scheme managers before the required transfers were made. Now, delays in moving the funds as well as clarity on contributions resulted in agitations from the public sector workers, with some threatening to strike. Hayford Atokofi is Chief Executive of the National Pensions Regulatory Authority. He's got the update for us.
Interview of the day.
The process has begun for the transfer of the TPFA to the various 4 schemes, which is the public sector schemes. Of course, there has been a process which began in 2015, where the private sector funds have been moved, and we have now tackled the public sector. So hopefully this week, by the end of this week, every fund, there's a 3 billion cedis fund here, which we are talking about, which is going to be transferred to the 4 schemes. The 4 main schemes are the Ghana Education Service Scheme, the Health Sector Scheme, the Civil and the Local Government Workers Scheme, and of course the Judicial Service Workers Scheme. So all those public sector workers are going to get their money, which is going to be in government securities ranging from 1 year to 15-year bonds.
And do you think that these players are well equipped now to take on these funds?
Well, we have had a long engagement with the scheme owners. We have had engagement with the trustees. We've had engagement with all the industry players, and we have basically given them the investment policy or the investment guideline of the NPRA, so that we know which asset classes and where they should reach in terms of the ceiling.
Interview of the day.
And that's it for Business Live tonight. Thanks for watching. My name is Darryl Kwa. We are back same time tomorrow.